Geoff just to talk through Secure Southwest.
Brilliant, thank you. Let me just share my slide.
Geoff, you did send me the slides, but I didn't get a chance to look at them. Apologies.
No worries. I've got a couple of thumbs up, so we're okay.
Great.
Let me just get into present mode. Okay, so good news is we finally, after a bit of tussling, have got a location for Secure Southwest, the annual event. And it's Plymouth University that have stepped forward to provide us the facilities and to support the event with their resources and not asking too much from us from a financial point of view, which is good news. So it really helps us to get things going, and in a way it's really pleasing because this is where the Secure Southwest event started. So it's good to, as the cluster takes over this event, and it's now its 15th event, it will be this year. So it's been going quite a while. They were running sometimes twice a year, so it hasn't been going 15 years. It's more like about 7 or 8, I think. But yeah, it's been going a long time. So Plymouth University is the location, and they offered us a few dates. We've been checking in, and it pretty much looks like we can lock down on the 23rd of March. So, and this is really important for us to be able to get, because we can't really get our speakers and organizational stuff sorted until we know where we're holding the event and on what date, because speakers can't sign up until they have a date. So that's the really important news for today in terms of things that are happening. Just to run through the sort of event format that we have, it's going to be a hybrid event, or at least from a planning point of view, it'll be a hybrid event. For the obvious reason, we have no idea, what variant we're going to be on. Maybe Z will find its way out. I don't know. So it's set up and will be set up to be both a streamed and physical event. The layout is going to be kind of like cabaret-style tables. There will be space for sponsorship booths from tabletop side of things. And the target is to have around up to 50 people on site and about 50 online attendees. So we're still going to aim to increase the number of attendees over previous years and see if we can hit the 3-figure mark as our stretch goal. It's definitely a stretch goal, but we'll do what we can on that. We'll be using Slido, if anybody's familiar with that from other events, as a way of uniting the physical and online audience as far as panel discussions, Q&A, polling, and all that sort of stuff is concerned. So if there's a negative, they don't have parking, but it is a 5-minute walk from the train station. We will be able to arrange parking for speakers if that's necessary, but not for attendees. So that's if there is a negative, that's the one thing, but it's a highly accessible location from a train point of view or bus. We're going to follow in general terms the same structure as we had last year. I think it's a thematic process that aligns with the focus of the cluster. So that's around business protection, innovation, and skills. We're looking for, now that we've got the deadline and the date and the location, we can now seek to get our keynotes. And we are definitely going to leverage our relationship with DCMS, NCSC, and through the UKC3 to get ourselves, a high-profile speaker there. And Lauren Mattal has already signed up to help us find that person. And so now that we've got that date, we can get that working and moving as fast as we can. They do take a long time, so hopefully we can get that one nailed down. On the innovation side, Cybership is located at Plymouth University. We've got to explore a bit more around what's going to happen there, but the Cybership team are on board and keen to engage, and they're doing a lot of very interesting stuff around the innovation area in terms of cyber and the ship side of things. So some may remember when they did one of their talks here on the cluster. And we want to make sure we keep the universities widely engaged and Akim's work. So we're going to see what we can do to bring in the University of Exeter as well, to bring some innovation value in from them. And of course, we'll be looking for anything from the commercial side too. There will be an increased emphasis on cybersec student development because of all the good things that Robin has highlighted around cyber futures and cyber first. So that's good. So in fact, actually that leads to us to think about a bit of a theme to bring forward across the event. And I think the thing that sort of, for me, was coming out from the work that we're doing, the success that we're having, and connecting that back into a sort of virtuous cycle of let's build on the things that are going well. Is this idea of, you know, young blood being brought into the cybersecurity sector. So I'm really thinking about that as a theme across all of the three areas that we're going to be talking around, give us a little bit of coherency and consistency. And as part of that, go back to a little bit of the Secure Southwest roots. When Steve Fennell started Secure Southwest, it was very much around bringing industry together, but also give access to the student population so that they had, you know, a bit like cyber futures, actually, a little bit of that interaction with the real world, so that the academic side of things can be balanced with you know, what's going on in the real world type of perspective. So we really want to bring that back in again, a little bit more student attendance focus into the event alongside the commercial side, so that we can bring these organizations together. So it'd be good for the commercial businesses to see what's coming up through the ranks, and it's good for the students to see what the opportunities are in the sector. And we'll be looking for innovative ideas for student participation. So, you know, just a little general call out there, have a think about that, particularly on the cyber first and cyber future side of things. What can we do to bring a bit of their participation to add value to the event? I'm sure we can come up with something on that. So looking around the cyber futures pilot and the cyber first engagement probably is the focus point for that. So it's a bit of a reach out for you, Paul, to have a little think around how that could be brought in to add some value. So the call to action, it's all about the speakers now that we have that event. You know, so have a think back over, you know, what were the most memorable or motivational talks that you've heard over the last year from the cluster? Let's go back and plunder our existing pot, or who could add to the dimensions that have been brought forward by some of those people. So we can invite some of those people back for a bit of a deeper dive around some of the, you know, the sort of 15-minute stuff that they had. Let's bring them back and sort of, let's get deep on that stuff. Certainly I can remember a couple that I'm going to be reaching out to. So have a think about who do you know that can really speak around business protection, or what's happening at the innovation edge, or what's going on in the cybersec skills development side of things. And we are open for sponsorship. Yay, now that we have a date and a place, and we have funding, which is always good. So we have a commitment that this will happen. Just on the sponsorship side, just to be very clear, we avoid the pay for play type of role, but a sponsor who puts forward a speaker that can speak agnostically on those key topics and really add value to the event, very open to that. Securious has stepped up every year so far, certainly as far as back as I can remember for Secure Southwest, they've stepped up as the first sponsor to take on sponsoring the costs of the buffet lunch. So thank you to Securious, stepping forward again. So any thoughts, ideas, anything else you got around that, email me at cybernews@southwestcsc.org, and I'll start collating that list and pulling together that speaker list and get this event really hot and going. Thank you.